Hi there, Neen. Oh, let's see here. Janine, you're muted. Hi, Kelsey. Hi, Bob.
I know I was muted. I left it on mute while I was frantically adjusting my volume. My speakers were way up too high.
Oh, hi, Kelsey. Hi, Uncle Tom. Hi, Aunt Peggy.
Hi, guys.
Hello, hello.
Hi, Uncle Bob. Hi, Kelsey Roo. Hi, Janine. Can you hear us, Kelsey?
Can't hear Kelsey.
She'll get it.
Okay, here I am. Hi.
There
We
you
can
are.
hear you now.
Congratulations,
Kelsey's like
Kelsey.
us.
You guys look good, Peg and Tom.
Hey. Kelsey would have been a graduate.
Hi, there's Danielle. Hi, Danielle.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi there,
Nice.
Hi.
Sharon and Carol.
Hello.
How do I do it now?
Yeah.
This? Better?
Might need to be a little closer together.
Say that again. She wants us closer together.
That's right.
Some bad audio.
6. They aren't supposed to be.
No, we are practicing social distancing. Yes.
Good job. Good job.
All right. So I see.
Oh, there's Kelsey.
Hi. Hi.
Janine is up on my screen. She's up in the top. That's our daughter, Janine.
Hi, Janine. I know you, Janine. I've seen many pictures of you.
Hello.
And Peggy and Tom. Peggy's my sister. And Tom is my brother-in-law.
Hi.
Hello.
That's Carol and Sharon.
I'm
Hi,
Sharon.
Carol and Sharon.
Hello. We are Aunt Verna's nieces.
Oh, nice.
And Kelsey is my
Hi.
niece. That's Peg and Tom's daughter.
Okay, okay.
She's our youngest daughter.
Youngest daughter.
We are from New York.
Awesome.
It looks like there's a couple of people who are trying to get on.
I think Mindy is, if that's the right Melinda.
Yeah, it looks like it.
Got Matt's parents joining too.
Okay, good. Give it a couple minutes here until we, before we get going. We really only have 40 minutes. We've done a couple of tests, right, Janine and Peg and Tom? And,
Yeah. Also, you may have to unmute Matt's parents' mom.
Okay. Let's see.
Hi, Janine. We're here.
Hello.
Good. Hello.
Hi, we're audio only, but we're here.
Okay. Where's Bob Ecker?
I'm right here.
Can
I
you
was
see?
going to
Oh,
say
I
that must be
thought so,
him, yeah. The screen is kind of, when we're outside, it's kind of glary. It's hard to see real good, but we're doing real good.
Uh-huh. Thanks to Danielle, Sharon's daughters did a real good job for us here.
Oh, good.
Got us
So-
all.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
There's,
see if Mindy's having trouble.
it looks like that says Andrew. You don't look like an Andrew.
Andrew uses this computer when he's talking with his teacher.
Oh, okay. And are you Shannon or Danielle?
Danielle.
Danielle, okay.
Mhm.
Sharon's daughter.
Okay. It looks like Melinda's having trouble and Kelsey's having a bit of trouble with her audio.
Mindy's
Kelsey's
muted
in
right
there.
now.
Oh, okay. Hey, Marion,
Yeah.
I just texted Mindy to see if she's having trouble getting in or what's going on. I texted her on my phone.
Yeah.
And Sean to join us. Look at Danielle brought a box of tissues.
I know.
Thank you, honey.
in my
I did too.
I have.
There we go. Let's see, Kelsey, would you talk?
I'm here. Sorry, I'm at work, so I have you I muted myself so you don't hear all the background noise.
She's
Okay,
at
well,
work.
that's fine, if you feel like you need to do that. I'm going to unmute Melinda. See if she can get in. It won't let me do it.
Won't let you invite her? I mean, accept her?
No
Oh,
one
unmute.
has to be accepted, it's just that I can't, some things I can unmute, and she's chatting here. Says,
Oh, they're driving.
Driving.
just muted, we
Okay.
are driving. Okay.
Okay.
And I
So
know,
she can hear, but perfect.
Matt's parents are on, and they're Janine's mother and father-in-law. And I'm not sure who this other person is here. There's another phone person besides Melinda and Matt and Mark. I mean, Matt and Mark. Matt's parents.
I think they
Anyway,
might be both on their own phones.
we'll give it
We are.
just another moment and then we'll get started. Paul is not going to make it.
Oh, no. Okay.
He just couldn't handle it. So make sure this is all recorded so he can, see it later at a later time.
That's
I
nice.
did, I did talk to him this morning, so.
Oh,
Oh, good.
That's good.
So is there anyone who would like to go first and say a little bit about Verna, maybe a loving thought or a funny story or?
Oh, I have too many funny stories. 40 minutes would
Your
be
audio
eaten
is
up.
really.
Bob,
Well,
do you want to go
I can
first?
start off with a funny story.
okay.
It's, talking with Sharon the other day, reminded me of all the times we were freezing corn. We'd start off in the morning with donuts and coffee and, 3 or 4 bushels of corn and, the corny jokes would just keep flowing all day long until we were done. We'd have to put a sheet down on the floor because of all the corn flying, from cutting and whatnot. But it was always, something nice to look forward to.
Yeah.
The dogs enjoyed it too because they had lots of stuff to eat.
Every year when I would go and get my 1 dozen ear of corn and call Aunt Verna, says, Aunt Verna, I'm freezing up my corn. She'd say, how many? I'd say 1 dozen, and she'd just laugh. And then she'd tell me all the time about how many dozens you guys would do.
It's a big
Yes,
thing.
I'll think of her every year. Well, more than once a year.
Okay, anyone else have something they want to say?
Real quick, Shannon's still trying to get in.
Okay.
I have something, Marion, but I've written mine out because I get stage fright. So I've got something that I'd like to say, but I'm happy to go last, or if you want me to go now, I'm happy to.
Go ahead.
Okay. So although I was tempted today to talk about what a loving mother, sorry, guys. Woo, didn't know that was coming. What a loving mother to Bob and Paul, and grandma to Janine that Verna was, and she was. I decided today to focus on what a cherished friend she was to a group of ladies who lived in Jackson. Some were neighbors and others were from church. So I'm sure it wasn't easy for her to outlive all her friends, but knowing Verna, she made many, many more at her new and final home. So Tom, my husband, and I first met Verna not long after Mary and Bob started dating. And we met Verna's friends early on too, as she often invited several of them to share in her family life, family life events like weddings, showers, birthday parties hosted by the Eckers. It was clear that this group of friends all depended on each other to get through hardships over the years, like the loss of a spouse and other equally difficult events. And as I said before, they also all shared in each other's many joys in life. Whenever anyone needed anything, the other stepped up. I have fond memories of Verna and the happy times we all shared together with her and her friends. She will be missed. Sorry, guys, I didn't know that was coming.
That's okay.
Sorry.
That's what it's all about.
Guess I better turn my fan up.
So anyone else want to say anything now?
Sorry.
I just wanted, oh, I'm sorry. I just wanted to share that I was always so impressed with Aunt Verna's ability to get on Facebook. She really enjoyed commenting on pictures of my kids, and it was always fun for me to see that she was able to stay connected with me and my family, even though we were so far apart. And also, the story, I won't share the whole story, but the story of my great-grandmother's dresser, I really enjoy sharing that story with people, and Aunt Verna will always have a special place in my heart because she made it possible for me to give my grandmother something very special. So that dresser will always be cherished by our family.
Very nice.
You can't.
Part of what how Graham got on Facebook was attributed to Janine. Janine tried to help with her IT. The place where she lived was pretty good. That some of the aides would come in and help her a bit, but I think her biggest challenge at first was to keep it charged. She couldn't figure out why it wasn't going. It was
In the hard stuff.
Yeah. Anyone else want to say anything now?
I just want to say that we all have fond memories of our get-together in New York or in Michigan, wherever we were, and the children all growing up knowing Aunt Verna, and the Eckers was always a special place in our hearts.
Oh, no.
Whether we
Push it down. Push it down.
parents old car across the border, and
Yeah.
just, the kids were just always great. And Janine, we were always thankful that you were there to welcome our children and play, and it was a lot of fun.
I always enjoyed it too.
Yes, yeah.
Since Carol's picking on my old car, I guess I can talk about the old Rambler. The first trip me, Carol, and Mom took to go out to see Aunt Verna. We had just gotten over the Canadian border, which is like 10 minutes from my house, and the muffler started falling off the car. So the rest of the car was holding up, but it was the poor muffler. So me and Carol were crawling under the car, trying to figure out how we can get it to stay for the next 6 hours across Canada. And some man stopped, and he was better at it than we
Got were. the coat hanger out.
Yeah, and tied that baby up, and it made it
Off
to
we went.
Aunt Verna's.
Yeah.
And then when we got there, Paul and Bob, they used their mechanic specialty and got under there, so it got us all the way home. But every time we would go out there, they would treat us just so
Royalty.
like royalty. The hospitality that was shown to us every time we went out there was just a good example for us on how we should treat guests when they come to our place. So we love it. We have many pictures.
Yeah.
This is only one photo album that I brought from 1980, 1993, 1998, 1996. There's one from 1985 when me and Mom and Danielle and my Jesse, he was just a baby, and he cried the whole way to Michigan through Canada. But Aunt Verna loved just, playing with him, because he was in a better mood once he got, to Aunt Verna's house.
Oh. So, Kelsey, do you really remember Verna very much? You didn't get to see her very often.
I didn't, but I remember she would always be there for Christmas. Anytime we had Christmas or Thanksgiving at your guys' house, she was always there. And I remember her and Janine being two peas in a pod. I just thought that her and Janine were the best group together, them two. Every time I think of Verna, I think of Janine. That's
Me
I just think
too.
of the two of them together.
Exactly.
Well, I wanted to say a couple things, but one of the things was that one of the best memories I have of Graham was when she let us stay at her house. It was only supposed to be for a couple of weeks, maybe a month, and it ended up being almost 9 months. And it was wonderful that she let us stay there, but I think the biggest reason that she let us stay there was because of Janine. Janine was a baby, and she was Grammy's only grandchild, and she just was in heaven with Janine being there. Even though we had 3 dogs in addition to her dog and cat, and the 3 of us, and Janine being a baby and getting potty trained while she was there, I think she enjoyed that so very much. And yes, her hospitality, she made you feel like royalty every moment that
That's nice.
we were there. Grammy really loved going to New York, and she talked about it all the time. And she, if she hadn't just gotten back from there, she was talking about going there again. And she tried every time she could to get there, whether it was to ride with someone. She wrote, I think the last time that she went to New York was with one of the ladies from her, her hairdresser from her Arbor North, and she wanted to go back again and again. She just wasn't able to, but she loved doing that. And she loved going out to eat at restaurants. And I wrote down a few of them that I thought were her favorites. She had a lot of them, but let's see. She liked going to the Cracker Barrel. She went there often. Olive Garden, sometimes to Yen King, which is the Chinese place in Jackson, and Red Lobster. And she especially liked shrimp, as I recall. Am I right, Bob?
Yep.
Yep, she liked shrimp. And any dish with shrimp in it, she liked it. Let's see, I thought I had a couple more things, but part of what I remember a lot about Graham was, again, doing the corn. Every year it was, freeze the corn. And Bob and I would, at first it was at Graham's house, but her house didn't have air conditioning, and it was usually when it was really hot out. So later on, we would have it at our house on Doring Drive in Jackson, and Paul would go out and get bushels and bushels of it, and we would then all husk it, and then Graham would cook it, and Janine would deliver it to the guys, and they'd cut it off, and then I'd bag it up. I see Sean. Whoop, Sean's connecting there. Hi, Sean.
Hi. How are you?
Oh, Sean.
Hi. Sorry I'm late. My virus software didn't want me to connect.
Oh. I'm not
Looks
sure
like
who
Shannon
this
just
is
reconnected
down
too.
here. Who is that?
Shannon.
Oh, hi,
Hi, Shannon.
Shannon.
I remember the corn too, Marion.
Do you? Yeah, you got to eat
Recipients of it.
that. Yeah, we would have it at Christmas and Thanksgiving, and it was really good corn. Really good corn. Oh, I see a Dougie.
That's a puppy.
There's a Dougie visitor too.
This
Cool.
is a doggy family.
So anyone else have any memories they want to share?
I can go.
Okay.
So the main memory that I really have of Graham is just love in general. She just kind of loved everybody that she ever met, and especially her family. She always talked about the family in New York and family growing up. And I know she loved my dad and uncle very much. And actually, one of my favorite pieces of jewelry of hers, she would talk about how her brother made it for her.
Oh.
And apparently when I was a lot younger, she, I actually asked her if I could have it when she died. I don't remember that, but I remember her telling me that a few times. And then one year for Christmas, she actually gave it to me. So I wear it only on special occasions just to keep it safe. But I always think of her every time I wear it. And I know she loved to spend time with family too. Funny story, it's actually more Uncle Paul's than mine. They're outside trying to clear up a fallen branch in the backyard, and they had the bright idea to try to balance it on a rock to try to split it in half because it was too big. And so he had my grandmother stand on one end to kind of be the weight on that side, and then he was going to jump on the other end to try to break it. Well, it was not quite brittle enough, so he sent her flying.
He went way up in the air.
Yeah. Everybody was okay, but
Catapult.
yeah. Just being able to spend time with family and have fun with them. I know that was always really important to her. She also really loved animals. She always had a dog or a cat, sometimes multiple. And even recently when she wasn't able to have one in the nursing home, I know that she loved to have visits from the local dog that would come by. And she'd always ask me about my dogs, and got to bring one of mine out to actually meet her, and she just loved all over him. And she also really loved plants. Actually, one of the last conversations that I had with her, I actually was asking her for advice on what plants to put in my backyard. And I know she really loved them because she always spent so much time taking care of her yard and her garden and talking with her neighbor about that. She also had a really big love of reading, and she definitely shared that with me. Some of my really fond memories of when I was a kid are with her going to the library or going to the bookstore, especially on the Sundays that I would spend time with her, maybe spend the weekend. And then we'd go hang out at her house and read. And I really loved that I could spend that time with her. And everything she really did always had love with it.
One of the things that Graham often would tell me was about Janine when she was little. We decided I couldn't physically have any more children, and Janine wanted a brother or sister really bad. So she asked Graham, will you have a baby so I can have a brother or sister? She didn't understand, but Graham told me this often because she just thought it was so funny that Janine would ask her to have a baby. She said, well, I would, but I can't. Sorry, Janine, but you're the only one.
Earlier, I was just asking Graham for all the weird stuff when I was a kid.
Some of our, oftentimes Bob and I will talk about when we lived there with Graham, and we would have dinner in the living room. Her house wasn't very big, and with all of the commotion with us being there, it was even more crowded with Janine. With babies, there's lots of things you have, furniture and stuff for babies. And she had her high chair in the living room, and she especially liked rice. And with 4 dogs and a toddler with rice, it went everywhere. And it was really comical to watch as they would get what Janine couldn't get. She flew it everywhere. It was everywhere. So
There were black dogs, white rice.
Anyone else want to say something?
It was really nice. We got to see her a year or two ago when she came and visited, and we brought Monkey over to Danielle's house, and she got a big kick out of him.
Yeah.
Is that Monkey?
This is Monkey.
Huh?
His tongue, and it rolled up like a curtain. She laughed and laughed.
That is cute.
It was really nice to see her. We hadn't seen her in such a long time.
Yes.
It's probably since we had gone to Michigan, and that was only maybe 10, long time ago.
Yes.
No, let me open up my photo album and I'll tell you when's the last time you came, Sean. Hold on.
Okay.
It was hard. I have like, I don't know, 15 photo albums. And so I went through a few to find some pictures of Aunt Verna. And I only brought 2 because they're just the heaviest things ever. But they're all wonderful, wonderful. The best thing about Aunt Verna when she would come to New York is we would get to have a family reunion. And we just loved it. It was always over in Alcott. And that was just the most fun when we were this small to when we were teenagers, young adults. All of it was the best fun. In fact, Sean, I have a picture in here where Russell, your cousin Russell, was making a basket with the basketball hoop. And I had wrote under there, Russell, good jump. And the next picture is you with your broken arm, and it says bad jump.
Yeah, that was no fun. Broken arm.
No. I never remember. How long did you and your mom have to stay at the hospital that day? Do you remember?
I only remember having an x-ray, and the woman was very mean.
She was mean.
That's all I remember from that. Yeah.
The only orthopedic doctor that day, it was a beautiful summer day. The only orthopedic doctor was out on his yacht in Lake Ontario. We had to wait for him to come in to do Sean's arm.
Oh, I don't remember that.
But we just want to say, Sharon and I, we want to say my mother, can't be here. She's 94 and she's doing very well, and she's going to miss Verna a real lot. But we represent my mother, Arlene.
She's kind of in lockdown at their apartment building. And because we want her to be safe, we can't go get her to be up here. And Carol and I were keeping our distance.
Yeah.
We didn't even tell Mom, but
she sends her love to everyone. She would certainly want to be, we'll share this with her when we can all be out there, and she'll be sadly missed by us here in New York.
Well, hopefully everything goes smoothly. So when this, records, I can put it up on Facebook, or YouTube for everyone to see. I'll edit it a little bit. On Verna's obituary, some of you may not know, there is an obituary up. It's at Sherwood Funeral Home in Grass Lake, Michigan. There is a place for you to put condolences and pictures. And I tried to put a picture of Graham up there, but it hasn't shown up. They're with the pandemic, everything is just delayed, and I'm not even sure when those pictures will show up. If you have a way to scan something and send me some pictures, I'll put them at the end of this video if you want, of some of your memories of Verna. I've got a couple that I would like to share. So, anyone else want to say anything?
I just wanted to let you all know that we didn't know Verna. I think the only time we met her was at Matt and Janine's wedding. But just listening to all your memories today, I can certainly tell that she was a very well-loved woman, and I'm sorry for your loss. And it's good that we can meet this way if we can't all be in person. That's all.
Thank you.
Well, thank you.
I'm getting a notice that we're running out of time. It says we're going to end in 10 minutes. So if you have something to say, please say it. Nothing? Let's see if I had any. I know that Graham knew a lot of people before I ever arrived on the scene with Bob. But one of the, what's that lady's name that, Bob, that she always did all the cooking with, that was such a great friend of hers there in Jackson?
Oh, Dorothy Moxon?
Yeah, Dorothy Moxon. And she was, they liked to Graham really, really loved Christmas. And she always decorated her house so nicely for Christmas that her and Dorothy would go and do a lot of Christmas cooking. Many of you didn't know this, but Graham was actually a very good cook, but she was especially good at Christmas time. She made the most yummy goodies. I think Bob really liked the lemon squares. What were your favorites, Bob?
Almost anything, especially if there's chocolate in it. I could even handle cooking it in there.
Yeah.
Was it cherry cheesecake that she always made for
Yes.
Christmas? Or I mean for Thanksgiving, cherry cheesecake?
Yeah.
And she loved to make what she called porcupines, and untidy Josephs, which was Joe's. But the porcupines, I know Bob and Paul always really enjoyed those, and they were basically meatballs with rice sticking out of it. She really liked that. She liked to cook that for the boys. I sure wish that Paul could be with us, because I know he would love to hear from all of you. If you get a chance, please contact him somehow. He has a cell phone, and of course you can mail him. I know he'd like to hear from you. Right, Bob?
Yes.
So.
It's really a struggle for him right now.
Sorry, Paul. Are you going to give him a copy of this, you said, Marion?
We'll try if we can. You
can mail it to him. Can you put it on a CD or a DVD and mail it to him?
Don't know for sure.
Yeah.
We'll have to
put that for him. Technical support, right?
You guys are talking over each other.
I can put it on a DVD and send it to him. I don't know if he has a DVD player, but I believe he does. So we'll try to get him.
Send him one, then he has no excuse.
Yes. Anyone else have anything?
I'll probably be out that way at some point soonish, and I can try and show it to him too.
Perfect.
I think it's so funny you guys talking about the corn, because you know, we try to make cream corn all the time, you know, when down here in Miami, and I just think, man, it's not as good as Uncle Bob's cream corn, but it was actually Aunt Verna's cream corn this whole time.
It wasn't even cream corn. It was just corn.
Just corn.
It was just creamy.
Just parboil it, cool it down in ice water and cut it off and put it in the freezer. Nothing special.
It was good.
Just don't use field corn. We did that one year.
Oh my.
That was not good.
You know, we missed the window of opportunity, and friend says, well, you know, you can come out and get some of the field corn. And that didn't work out real well. I think a lot of it got thrown away.
Well, I think we're going to be shut off here any moment, but I just wanted to say we'll miss Graham.
Yep.
Yep.
Verna
We'll
Ecker,
miss her.
you were loved.
She's very lucky that, it's always sad when someone passes away, but she's very lucky that she lived a long, happy, pretty healthy life and having such a nice family to care for her and be with her and spend time with her. A lot of people don't have that, and everyone is very lucky to
That's
have known
right.
her. And I work at a cancer hospital, and we have so many patients that are really young and passed away, or just are alone. No one comes to visit. You
Sad.
take some of that for granted to have a nice family and people who care about you and go out of their way to do nice things for you and are thoughtful. I know that she had that, and that's very nice.
It is.
Nice to see everybody. It's been very long time.
Yes, it is.
Sad circumstances, but
Yes.
There's a lawnmower going, so we're just gonna say a real fast goodbye, and we love you, and this
Bye.
was real nice. This
Take
was real
care.
nice, and we can't wait to share it with our mom.
Okay,
Oh, good.
good. You'll make sure she sees it somehow. Does she,
Yes,
does she have
yes.
a DVD player?
Yes, she does.
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Good, okay. All right,
Marion, we're gonna sign off too.
okay,
We
Okay.
love you all,
love you.
Love you
Love you
too.
too.
guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye,
Bye,
Sharon.
guys. Take care.
Bye.
Bye, Mindy.
Love you.
Bye,
Love
Janine.
you. Love you,
Bye,
Janine.
Murph. Bye, Bob. Bye, Sean.
Bye, Paul.
guys,
Love you, Paul.
Buddy. Yep. We miss
take care.
Anybody
Bye.
doing the royal wave?
Yeah, the royal
Yeah.
way.
All right, I'm ending
Bye.
the meeting. Goodbye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye, Murphy. Thank you for
Bye.
doing this.
Yeah, thank you, Murphy. This was very nice.